old are you anyway?
13.
Me too.
13 Going on 30 is a mixed bag of timeless and outdated takeaways. The story of a 13-year-old who gets her wish of fast-forwarding through into being a successful 30-year-old
30, flirty, and thriving.
centers on a great message to learn at any age. Chasing popularity won't make you happy, and it's crucial to hang on to what makes you original.
Besides, you're way cooler than they are. They're totally unoriginal.
Along the way to telling this story, though, the movie also ends up vilifying female success and puts a lot of pressure on finding an ideal true love
I've always loved you.
to a degree that every other aspect of a life, like a career, independence, and personal development, don't seem to matter. Here are the mixed messages of 13 Going on 30. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell to be notified about all of our new videos. This video is brought to you by Skillshare, an awesome online learning community with thousands of classes to help you develop your curiosity and passions. The first 1,000 Take viewers to use the link in our description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. So check it out now and start exploring your creativity. Toxic takeaway: fashion and media are vapid, evil, and ridiculous. It's a common movie stereotype that people in fashion and fashion publishing are cruel, petty, and shallow.
The new and improved Poise will explore the last frontier. It will go heroin chic, one better. It will OD.
13 Going on 30 portrays fashion magazines as staffed by bitchy, mean girls taking cheap shots at one another.
Trish, are things so bad you had to come to our party to eat some free food? Please put some crab in your purse for later.
Yeah, you might want to keep some of that biting wit for your magazine.
In its effort to symbolically dismiss the importance of popularity in any form, the movie ends up framing the entire professional fields of fashion and fashion-adjacent media as soulless and having no value. When Jenna, due to her 13-year-old tastes, wears outfits that border on ridiculous, no one seems to be able to tell.
You look just scrumdiddlyumptious.
I know. Thank you.
The implication is that the supposed experts don't have any idea what looks good and are just making up arbitrary, nonsensical trends to sell magazines. In reality, fashion can be an empowering tool for a shy, self-conscious teen or an adult. Democracy expert and professor of law Joshua I. Miller contends that fashion can act as a democratizing force. The movie touches on this through the plot of Jenna redesigning Poise magazine to leave behind its emphasis on empty chic and speak to deeper emotions, making people feel togetherness and value the good things in life.
I know this is different. I mean, from anything we've ever done.
It's also mirrored in the joy Jenna takes in dressing herself and the way that she subtly refines her own personal style into a more elegant version of her core youthful aesthetic. The movie implies that only Jenna's fresh 13-year-old eye can see what's really cool is not to be found in pages of beautiful models looking unattainable and vacant, but in friendship and community.
Who are these women? Does anyone know? I want to see my best friend's big sister and the girls from the soccer team.
This works as a nice message for the movie's overall themes, and it's fair to take shots at beauty magazines, some of which have long encouraged unhealthy body images and an overemphasis on pleasing men.
He lies, he cheats. What are you doing wrong?
But it's more than a little reductive to imply that an entire industry of people's life work is worthless, and they just need a naive adolescent to swoop in and tell them what to do.
Well, I think that I'm gonna start reading Poise for the first time in my life.
Relatedly, the movie implies that career success is only achievable through underhanded cheating. Toxic takeaway: no choice but to cheat your way to the top.
I talked to Trish Sackett yesterday. It's okay, Jenna. I know all about your little deal. It's a sweet little deal, actually.
In Jenna's work, you only get ahead by acting like a heartless, underhanded snake and crushing everyone else.
Emily Pratt called and wanted me to tell you, I can't believe you scooped my story on Vivian Tam, you backbiting little bitch. That was a new level of sleaze even for you.
While Poise comes up with the ideas, Sparkle scooping them always sells more copies. Even Jenna's heartfelt home run redesign ends up being material for someone else to steal and profit off of. And the resolution to this career plot is that cynicism and backstabbing always win out in the fashion and media world. Moreover, the film suggests that while success is a symptom of bad values for women, it's still embarrassing if a man isn't an earner. Jenna's and Lucy's prestigious jobs are signs that they have no integrity. But on the flip side, the movie's shorthand for communicating that high school cool guy Chris Grandy has become a loser is having him drive a cab.
So what are you doing? Are you married? Because if you're single, I definitely want a number.
This plays into a double standard that is humiliating for men if they don't have a high-paying job. Even Matt's modest career is portrayed as an indicator that he's settled overall in his life.
You can take pictures of vitamin bottles anywhere.
There's the sense that Jenna engaging him with a high-paying job for poise,
you know, Jenna, I could really use this, but you don't need to do me any favors,
helps to bring out a more vibrant, confident, and attractive manliness in him. Overall, though, Matt's character gives us the meaningful message that actual nice guys finish first. Film and TV are swimming in faux nice guys feeling sorry for themselves.
We're a couple of nice guys, which stopped being a desirable character trait about half a century ago.
But Jenna's love for Matt is the counterexample.
You're the sweetest guy I've ever known.
He's a sweet, kind kid who grows up into a sweet, kind man, even though Jenna treats him really badly.
And then you picked up and threw at me with impressive force. I might add the dream house that I spent 3 weeks building for you.
He doesn't end up with a chip on his shoulder like so many of those fake nice guy characters do. When she shows up out of nowhere talking gibberish about being 13,
Yesterday was my 13th birthday. And then today I woke up and I'm this.
he's still courteous, walks her home to make sure she's okay,
I think you should go back to your apartment. I'll help you find it.
and is respectful about her choices, however much he may not like them.
Jenna, our lives went separate ways. We went to different colleges, different career.
He does kiss Jenna while he's engaged to someone else, but crucially, he won't abandon his fiancée Wendy on their wedding day because he considers others' feelings and respects the promises he's made.
That's her family down there. We care about each other, you know?
The guys who are considered catches in Jenna's society are portrayed as kind of ridiculous. There's not much to high school cool boy Chris Grandy after his looks have faded,
I'm still living at home.
while Matt has had a total glow up.
You lost all your baby fat.
And the message is that inner beauty is what perseveres and expresses itself over time. Meaningful message: love your best friend. Matt and Jenna also illustrate a key truth about relationships, that it's important to be friends with your partner.
You're my best friend.
The first thing Jenna does when she realizes she's 30 is to seek out her best friend.
Actually, I need to find this guy. He lives
Okay,
in New Jersey.
not a problem.
Have his number.
When she's grasping that she hasn't grown up into a good person, the first evidence she gives is,
I don't have any real friends.
so the takeaway is that life without friends isn't worth much, and that love and friendship are the same thing. Meaningful message: be yourself. 13 Going on 30 captures the way that, in adolescence, many of us want to be someone else.
I don't want to be beautiful in my own way. I want to look like these people.
But living according to what other people value can lead you to give up what you'll later realize are the only truly valuable things in life: love, friendship, and fun. The basic thesis of the film is that popularity isn't worth what it costs, and only being an original, trusting your own instincts and what you love, will deliver you your dream house happy ending. While the just be you moral may sound cliched in the abstract, what's insightful about this movie is its revelation that humans' obsession with popularity and fitting in isn't just an adolescent concern. In fact, it arguably gets worse in the adult world.
You had a nose job?
Yeah, and yours is better.
When Jenna first wakes up as a 30-year-old, she's shocked at how different she's become.
I haven't seen you since high school.
What?
We're not friends anymore, Jenna.
But how different is she really? She's still worrying about who shows up to her party, striving to hang out with the most exclusive crowds, and distancing herself from anyone who doesn't have clout.
Why are you talking to me?
Why not? We are neighbors, right?
But you usually ignore me.
Jenna's life at 30 replicates exactly what she thought she wanted as a teenager.
Well, then you got everything you ever wanted. You might as well enjoy it.
But this makes her realize that all the socially prescribed goals she fixated on weren't what she really wanted.
Maybe we didn't realize how much we were leaving behind. We need to remember what used to be good.
Essentially, the movie boils down to an ancient moral, meaningful message: be careful what you wish for.
I got everything I ever wanted.
Yeah, Jenna, you got it all. Congratulations.
The movie stresses that the grass isn't greener, and one of the secrets to life is being content with and valuing what you already have. The downside, though, is that the movie emphasizes valuing your loved ones so much that it ends up implying all you need is love, and there's no room for anything else. This movie focuses a lot around home, and in its final scene, arrives at a fantasy of a dream husband in a dream house. New York itself isn't the exciting, vibrant place we often see in movies, but rather an empty, materialistic trap to escape from for the morally superior family values of suburban New Jersey.
I miss you guys so much.
It's also notable that this New York is overwhelmingly white and heteronormative.
Are you gay?
The end of the movie implies that all Jenna really needed to be happy was Matt. But Jenna is incredibly smart and ambitious with a big vision.
Repeat after me. I am Jenna Rank, big-time magazine editor. I am.
And however toxic her behavior has been up to this point, she discovers the potential to wield her power for good, to create something positive and beautiful to put into the world. In the reconfigured 30-year-old reality, after Jenna gets to wish herself back to the fateful 13th birthday and kiss Matt on the lips,
Wow, you really know what you're doing.
she ends up living out what Matt thinks her dream is, based on who she was at 13. They move into the real version of the pink dollhouse he makes her.
I decided to make you your own Jenna dream house.
Sadly, while Matt's identity as a photographer is still intact, there isn't really any mention of what happens with Jenna's career in the new actual reality, besides the implication that, because she rejects Lucy, she probably also rejects the fashion magazine world.
You know what? You can be the pot and kettle all by yourself from now on. Biatch.
The fact that the only thing she wants as a real 30-year-old are Matt, a Barbie dream house, and razzles
Razzle, Mr. Flamhat?
Thank you, Mrs. Flamhat.
suggests a lack of development for her as a person. Life isn't a dichotomous choice between becoming an evil sellout and always staying exactly the same as you were at 13. Meaningful message: treat your parents better. As a teen, Jenna wishes her parents would leave her alone and stop embarrassing her.
Dad, you promised you were gonna stay upstairs. Go!
But when she flashes forward, she learns to value them because they won't always be around. And there's no one who can make you feel better when you're going through a time-traveling, body-morphing existential crisis.
What in the world?
Maybe many of us adults do think it's normal to not see our parents that much, but adolescent Jenna reminds us that, especially when life gets hard, it's kind of crazy not to stay connected to the people who offer you infinite love and support.
I'm sorry I missed last Christmas.
Meaningful message: don't fast forward through the pain. Jenna has skipped over everything that's hard about adolescence, but also what's formative.
I was sitting in my closet and I skipped everything. I mean, it's like a weird dream. I can't remember my life.
The difficult, complicated parts of life are really important for growing up and becoming a good person. Jenna's mom also reassures her that mistakes are an important part of the journey.
Well, I made a lot of mistakes, but I don't regret making any of them.
How come?
Because if I hadn't have made them, I wouldn't have learned how to make things right.
At the same time, though, the movie is a cautionary tale warning us that you are what you do. Your choices, even from a young age, shape your whole life.
You can't just turn back time.
Our actions, plus the passage of time, define who we are, and we can't undo that.
We've gone down different paths for so long. We made choices.
This is why, in the original 30-year-old reality, Matt and Jenna can't end up together. Matt isn't the kind of person who just screws over his fiancée, while the feelings Jenna is having for the last few days don't erase who she's been over the last 17 years.
Matt, was I a six chick?
Oh yeah, you're pretty much a leader.
The only way that Jenna can set her life right is to go back to the point when it all went wrong and make better choices in the moment. This movie's cautionary tale when it comes to taking the wrong path is Lucy, who sends the message, toxic takeaway: the mean girl can't change. Lucy is mean as a teenager,
Freakazoid.
and meaner still as an adult.
I think that I told him you had decided to go in a different direction, which you are now. I might have told him something else too, but I just can't remember.
Even when the two are portrayed as adult friends, Lucy makes small, sharp jibes
The slip dress is a little 97.
and undermines Jenna.
Jenna's a little hungover today.
As the film progresses, she proves just as selfish and underhanded as ever.
And I don't want Jenna to find out.
In the end, Lucy takes all of Jenna's ideas to rival magazine Sparkle.
Well, now I'm taking your job and you can stay here with the magazine that you single-handedly flushed down the toilet.
And when Jenna goes back to fix her life, she makes a point of not befriending young Lucy. It's sad, though, that there's no redemption arc available for Lucy. Her character plays into the rom-com cliche that female coworkers must be rivals. This movie even seems like the main reference for the parody of that trope in Isn't It Romantic?
This seems incredibly unnecessary, okay? Just because we're two female colleagues, we don't automatically have to be enemies.
While Lucy is clearly a pill as a kid, if you look closer at adult Lucy's perspective, we might be able to empathize, to a degree. First of all, adult Jenna sounds like a pretty awful person.
You're married and to a girl I work with.
Well, that didn't stop us from rattling some desk drawers loose last week.
So it's hard to blame Lucy for not being super loyal to her or buying Jenna's sudden innocent act.
I'm getting so sick of having her around with this crazy new act that she has going on. You know she stole Charlotte's idea, right? And then she fired her.
The thing that spurs her stealing Matt's designs is that she discovers Jenna has been the spy selling out her entire team of coworkers.
Editor-in-chief, if you help him hit 1 million copies, so you give him tips.
Oh my God. If the movie were more interested in Lucy, it could explore what made her so cynical and disappointed and lonely.
Lucy, you mind if I steal her from you for the rest of the night?
Oh, I actually had my eye on something a little better inside, so I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.
Or it could show Jenna's infectious enthusiasm giving Lucy a new perspective on life, as we see happen for nearly everyone else. But apparently the mean girl is the only one who's beyond saving. What makes this even odder is that Jenna, from what we're told, has become an even meaner girl than Lucy for the past 17 years, which is how she surpassed Lucy in popularity.
I was a prom queen.
While the film's moral center, Matt, instinctively despises Lucy,
I stopped trusting her after she stole my Pop Rocks in the 3rd grade.
he somehow senses that Jenna is truly a nice girl deep down because, before the age of 13, she was sweet and unpopular. This is a common cliche in teen movies, that the geeky, uncool kid must be intrinsically good at heart, while the popular mean girl is irretrievably vapid.
I could write your report for you. Fabuloso.
But people aren't static. They can develop and change over time, for better and worse. 13 Going on 30's most important takeaway is to stay young at heart, not to lose the openness and creativity of youth as we grow up.
Let's put life back into the magazine. And fun. And laughter and silliness.
As the Billy Joel song Vienna reminds us while Jenna travels to her parents' house, we also shouldn't rush growing up.
You're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time.
You have an entire life to live, so the lyrics slow down, you crazy child. In other words, you got a whole life.
13 seems to be the age when Jenna, in her original trajectory, lost touch with her inner kid.
Want some razzles?
Razzles are for kids.
But when she gets to be the sophisticated 30-year-old she's been dreaming of becoming, she realizes there's a real lack of fun in her adult life.
I think that he means the party is a stinker. A dud, a flop, a 0 on a scale of 1 to 10.
Bringing a child's naivete to evaluating our adult lives can be illuminating. Young Jenna can't understand why adult Jenna would be in a less than meaningful relationship with hockey player Alex, a guy who isn't as smart or deep as she is.
You want me to sign your shirt or your forehead or something? No, I don't do butts.
Why adults would embark on affairs with married people or listen to repetitive music and not dance at parties.
Maybe if somebody played something other than this, something with a melody.
When Jenna instigates a Thriller dance at a work party, she saves the event just by acting like a kid having a good time. And it turns out that most of the adults in the movie are happier when they reconnect with this inner kid they've been missing.
I think all of us want to feel something that we've forgotten or turned our backs on.
Bravo!
13 Going on 30 encourages us to savor every moment and appreciate the things we sometimes take for granted, especially the people who love us, because those are the things we'd miss the most if they were gone. While it's easy to lust after distant images of what we think happiness must look like, maybe it's simply the person who always shows up for you who will end up being the one.
Do you love him? Duh.
This is The Take on your favorite movies, shows, and culture. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. Please subscribe and never miss a take.
Thanks so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. Since you're a fan of this channel, I know you'll enjoy Aaron Palabiev's class on filmmaking as much as I did. Aaron was trained as a filmmaker and in commercial production before he started traveling the world producing award-winning content. Aaron distills years of analyzing videos into a handful of key elements that will help you attract an audience to your own YouTube channel or social platforms. Right now, Skillshare is offering our viewers a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, but that's only if you're one of the first 1,000 people to click the link in the description below. So join today and jumpstart your creative journey for less than $10 a month with an annual subscription.